So, what is everything we thought we knew about getting old was just wrong? Today, we're going to dig into the work of Harvard geneticist Dr. David Sinclair, who has this totally revolutionary way of thinking about why we age.
Okay, so Dr. Sinclair kicks things off with this really radical idea. He says, what if we've been looking at disease all wrong? Instead of fighting heart disease over here and Alzheimer's over there, what if we went after the one thing that's the biggest cause of all of them?
And that one thing, he argues, is aging itself. The big idea, the real game changer here, is that aging isn't, just an inevitable part of life. It's a condition. It has specific causes, and it's that deterioration that leads to all the sickness. In other words, aging is a disease, and if it's a disease, maybe we can treat it. That's a huge question, right? If we're going to treat aging, we've got to know what's actually causing it. What's going on under the hood, on a biological level, that makes our bodies break down?
Well, according to Dr. Sinclair, the answer is all about information. He calls it the information theory of aging. And to get our heads around it, all we need is a simple analogy from, back in the day. So inside your body, you basically have two types of information. First, you've got your genome, your DNA. Think of this like the flawless music burned onto a CD. The data itself is perfect and doesn't really change. But then you've got the epigenome. And the epigenome is like the CD player. Its job is to read that music and tell each cell which songs or which genes to play so it knows how to be a skin cell or a brain cell. Here's the problem. Over time, life happens, right? DNA breaks from stuff like sun exposure or just from being alive create tiny little scratches on that CD. And when that happens, the CD player, the epigenome, it starts to get confused. It loses its place and can't read the right songs at the right time anymore. This loss of information, that's aging. And this is what that confusion actually looks like. The cells start to lose their identity. They forget what they're supposed to be doing. A neuron in your brain might start firing up genes that have no business being on except in a skin cell. And that cellular chaos, that loss of function, is what we actually experience as getting older. But here is the absolute best part of this whole theory, the most empowering part. We can't change the music on the CD. Our genes are pretty much set. But an estimated 80% of our health and how long we live is controlled by the CD player, the epigenome. And that we can do something about. All right, so if our lifestyle has that much power, what do we actually do? How do we help the CD player stay on track? How do we polish away those scratches and keep our body's information working properly? And here's the thing. The secret isn't some magic pill or some crazy new technology. It's all about activating the powerful defense and repair systems we were born with. We just have to know how to turn them on. The main way we do this is through a process called hormesis. It's basically the science behind that old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. By putting our bodies under the right kinds of mild stress, not too much, just enough, we wake up our internal repair crews. This good stress flips on a special set of genes called sirtuins. You can think of these sirtuins as your body's special forces, its emergency repair team. Their job is to parachute in, polish the scratches on the CD, fix DNA damage, and basically tell the confused cells to get back to their original jobs. They protect the epigenome.
Okay, so how do we create this beneficial stress and call in the sirtuins? Well, the science points to a really simple but powerful toolkit, which we can break down into three main categories. So it's not just one thing, right? It's not a magic bullet. It's a combination of signals we send through when we eat, what we eat, and how we live. Each one of these is like a different button we can press to activate those protective pathways. First up, when you eat. Turns out one of the most powerful ways to turn on your defenses is intermittent fasting. Just trying to skip one meal a day, say breakfast or dinner, creates this window of time where your body thinks, uh-oh, times are tough. That feeling of hunger is actually a super powerful signal to turn on the sirtuins and get into repair mode. Second, what you eat. This is so cool. There's this idea called xenohormesis. Basically, when plants get stressed, maybe too much sun or not enough water, they make these amazing protective molecules like resveratrol. And when we eat these colorful, stressed plants, we kind of borrow their survival smarts. We get those benefits, and it activates our own defenses. And finally, how you live. I mean, exercise is the classic example of good stress, right? It's a huge signal for repair. But what's really happening is that it boosts your body's supply of a molecule called NAD.
and you can think of NAD as the gas in the tank for that sirtuin pair crew. Without enough NAD, they just can't do their job. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that aging isn't just something that's happening to you. It's a conversation. Your daily choices, when you eat, what you eat, how you move, are constant signals, direct messages you're sending to your epigenome, telling your body to either decay or to defend itself. This whole way of thinking completely changes the game. It turns aging from something we just have to accept into a challenge we can actually take on. It gives us a toolkit to slow down the process, for sure, but it also leaves us with one last, mind-blowing question. If we can polish the scratches, could we one day figure out how to wipe the CD completely clean?